Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170. The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel with Whissel Realty, joined by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans.
Yes, sir.
Before the break, we were talking with Gypsy Naccarato, TriStar Property Management. If you want to connect with Gypsy, learn more about if you're a tenant looking for a place to rent, if you own a property, you're looking for somebody to manage it for you, or you're thinking about buying a property and looking for a good property manager. You got a whole team here with Whissel Realty, Team Home Loans, TriStar. We can put the whole combo together and make it happen for you. 619-663-7355. 619-663-7355. So also in studio today, we've got Mr. Martin Lopez.
Nice.
You like that little intro?
I like that.
Not only a lender with iServe Lending, but now officially, with this book in my hand, officially an author.
I'm an author.
This is the first time we've had an author in the studio, Jason.
You know what? I think you're right. We may have had authors. They just haven't mentioned what they do, because I've always surprised
I've
how
never
many people
held
have written
somebody
books.
else's book in my hand in this studio. This is the first.
Someone that you know really well, too.
I feel honored. I feel honored to know a published author.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So the book is called The Curiosity Theory. Tell us about the book, Martin.
Well, being in this business for 30 years, we all are dealing with conflict every day. We deal with agents, we deal with clients, we deal with escrow, title, all that. And after, 25, 30 years of being in this business, kind of got tired of it, and I wanted to kind of figure out
in the real estate business. You've been both a real estate agent and a lender over your 30-year career.
That's correct. Thanks for clarifying. So I was a real estate agent for about 13 years. In the last 17 years, I've been a loan officer, and I actually owned a mortgage company as well. And there's conflict everywhere you look. And like Gypsy said earlier, she said, there's a lot of things that get misinterpreted, right?
Yes.
You say something and it comes out the wrong way. So I wanted to find a way to deal with that conflict, to deal with those misinterpretations. And sometimes you find yourselves in a fight, and you like, how did I even get in this thing, right? No, I didn't. That's not what I meant to say, right?
No, we ask all the time.
Yeah, we ask all the time. So what I did is I started investigating my life and I saw a bunch of fights and arguments that I got into, and I was like, let me see how I got into them. And then I started seeing these fights that I got out of completely by accident. I was in the middle of an argument, or I was in the middle of a conflict, and all of a sudden, like the next second, I was completely out of it. And it was amazing. I was like, how did that happen? And I realized that curiosity, I was asking a question, and that question that I asked, because I was really curious, I really wanted to know what was happening, that actually got me out of the fight. It changed the whole vibe of the situation, where it was conflict at the beginning. And then the asking somebody a question created a respect and a safety in the conversation. So we're able to.
So you're saying there's hope for Mr. Hall. So I can tell my wife that as I'm nearing closer to 30 years in the business, that I hopefully will get as good as you at getting out of those conversations I don't want to be in, right?
And speaking English.
Well, that's going to always be that, right? I mean, my brother. You've met my family, Kyle. This is East County, thank you, Monte Vista, and, Grossmont College and Queen Maca College. This is what we get.
This is it.
This is it.
You got it. You're the cream of the
crop.
crop.
Wants to go ahead and give them all free education so they can be these great speakers and do absolutely nothing. Or Mr. Hall, of course, gets a lot of stuff done, but can't speak that well.
Well, if you've been to that many schools and the grammar hasn't changed, it's not the schools, it's you.
It's in the DNA.
That's right. There's a common denominator.
It's in the DNA.
That's the one common denominator is you, not the school.
So how'd you figure out the curiosity theory?
Well, it was a series of investigating and going back and looking at my life and seeing the conflicts I had. For instance, there was one in grade school, actually in junior high school, where there was this guy named John and this guy named Mark, and we hung out a lot, and we were kind of tough guys. And one day I walk into the cafeteria, and there's that crowd that you see when there's a fight. There's like a special kind of crowd. So I was like, hey, there's a fight, So I was all excited. Let me go check it out. And as I walked into the middle of the crowd, I saw my two buddies fighting, and nobody's stopping it. So I said, I'm going to stop it, and I ripped them apart. And I threw Mark to the ground, and as I grabbed John, I kind of pulled him off to the right. And I remember holding his shirt, and I ripped his shirt. And he was like really upset, and he looks at me, and he hits my arm, and he's getting ready to hit me in the face. And so I'm like, I'm a fighter, so I'm all right. Let's go. Let's get it on. Right? Let's get it on. So I'm like ready to fight. And then I thought of something, and it came out of my mouth. I said, John, why are we fighting? And it was just that simple. And his arms went down. He looked at me, started laughing, and we just walked away. And I'd always thought about that. I was like, what happened my whole life? And as I started to investigate that, this thing, curiosity, this theory of curiosity just developed. And I started to go, wow, that actually works. So I had to try it out. So let me try this idea. Let me try it out with people. So I had to find conflicts. Well, that's not hard. I've been married for a long time. I have kids and all that, and I'm in the mortgage business. So they're everywhere.
Conflicts every year.
They're everywhere, right? So as I was starting to investigate that, I would just ask people a question. I would just slow down. I'm hyper. You got ADD. We got a lot of energy.
Right.
So I'd have to slow down and just say, Jason, I'm just curious. Did I say something to offend you? Or did I, what did I do? And it was really,
you did.
That's what I always do. I'm sure. But, I would start to do that. And as a result, my relationships all changed. My marriage has changed. My relationships with my kids have changed. My business has changed. Everything has shifted just from being curious and really being curious. Not manipulative, like I know the answer, but curious, like I'm really investigating.
Let me ask you this. Now that you've known Kyle for, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years, and Kyle just naturally is very curious, and he asks those questions. Do you think you picked up any additional stuff being around Kyle, or has that helped you anyway? Because I know it's helped me, and I'm continuing to learn. There's some amazing things you can learn from people like Kyle that God puts in your life that he's like, shh, Jason, just wait. And then he's asking questions to that buyer or that seller or that person we happen to meet during our day or our week. And I'm always amazed how good Kyle just naturally does that. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We every Tuesday we're in a meeting for an hour and a half, and I watch Kyle communicate with people, and he says what he says. And to me, I'm always studying people. I'm always looking at seeing how they're doing it. And if you notice, there's a lot of people that actually use the word curiosity or curious. They say, I'm curious. And Kyle, you're always saying that. I'm curious about this or I'm curious about that. There's the group, and you'll say, I'm curious who does this or does that. And just that word curiosity or I'm curious, it just has
it's a soft
people.
word,
Yeah. It's a kind word, and it's a respectful word. And I just find that word is a very strong word to use. So I try to use it as often as I can.
So as we're wrapping up, Kyle, real quick, where did you learn? We don't have no time, huh? Where did you learn
We
that?
got time, Jason. I'm just going to make sure people understand. They're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170.
You
We're
gave me,
talking
a little time
to Mr. I'm telling you to shut up. Yeah. We're talking
And he's not curious about it.
Yeah, we're talking to Mr. Martin Lopez, author of The Curiosity Theory. Again, if you want to connect with Martin, learn more about the book, 619-663-CELL, 619-663-7355. Martin, if somebody wants to get a copy of the book, is it sold online? You got a website? Amazon? Where do they go?
Literally just went online. Go to thecuriositytheory.com. And it's actually not right now in this second, but in about 20 minutes, the link will be up.
All right. I love it. Again, if you want to get Martin's book, thecuriositytheory.com. And Martin, I'm looking at the back of this book, realtor / mortgage broker / jazz musician / music producer / proud father / curiosity coach. That's pretty amazing. What do you not do?
I DJ too, you know that?
And DJ. You didn't put DJ. Martin has DJ'd our holiday
producer.
party for the last few years, and he gets on the ones and twos. It's a beautiful thing. So, Martin, super proud of you to see you, put all of this amazing stuff that's in your head into a book. I'm definitely envious of you. Once it's on Audible, then I will check it out since I can't read, but I do want to check it out. So I appreciate you joining us today, Martin. Again, if you want to get a copy of the book, thecuriositytheory.com. Also, again, in studio, we had Gypsy Naccarato, TriStar Property Management, Jason Hall, Team Home Loans, myself at the team at Whissel Realty. If you want to connect with anybody we've had on the show, 619-663-CELL, 619-663-7355. You can also go to whisselwednesdays.com, WHISSEL Wednesdays.com. Listen to past episodes of the show. Shoot us over some questions. Or if you've got stuff you want to hear about on future episodes of the show, we'd love to get your feedback. So thank you so much for listening to the show today. We sincerely appreciate it. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays, AM 1170, The Answer.
Can you blow my whistle, baby? Whistle, baby, let me know.